Hi, thank you so much for joining me for this video in spring, where we talk about life systems. So this is really the place in your relationship where you can put systems in place and practices in your day-to-day living, which will transform your relationship, right? It really is in how many bridges can you build from your winter self to your summer self, right? From the place of your conflict and disagreement and disconnection to the place of bondedness and unity and connection, really. So what are these bridges? Here are 7 of them, and I want to just touch on them. There will be more information in your worksheets. This is really just an opportunity for you to think about which ones might work for you, which ones need to get on your calendar like today. Right? Do not wait. If there is one here that you're thinking this will actually do something specific and intentionally beautiful for us, get it scheduled today, right? Make sure you make it happen, because a great relationship doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intention. So let's start seeing what some of these are. The first one is a couples check-in. And in this scenario, we really have a place and an opportunity where you set some ground rules. So you say, I really want to see how things are going with us. I want to check in. This is where I'm at. This is how I'm feeling. I want to hear from you, right? So you really engage your partner and you try to come together and find a place to which both of you can find a connection point, right? So you're putting out some feelers, you're inviting them over to your space. You're seeing where can the bridge meet in the middle. One way that people do that is through date night. So you can either have something standing on the calendar like every Friday or every Tuesday evening or something like that, or it can be more spontaneous. Now, couples do things differently, of course. Some of my clients will say, we are going out every Saturday night, regardless of what else is going on in the world, every Saturday night is our special time. So we either stay home and we do something, or we go out and we do something. And it really depends on our energy and our time and what's going on in the world and our other commitments during the week. But that time is our sacred time. Other couples put a date on the calendar every month. So they will say, the first Saturday of the month or the first Sunday of the month, and they alternate who plans an activity. So that might be kayaking one month, it might be hiking another month, it might be antique road trip shopping another month, but they know what each other enjoys, and so they find things they can enjoy doing together, and they take turns planning. So it isn't always on one person to be initiating the date night, or initiating the romantic getaway, or initiating any of the activities. Because that's definitely a road to fall, if not winter, that one person feels responsible for keeping the relationship alive and active. So having this, shared responsibility makes it 6 times a year, you get to give your partner the gift of your planning and your ideas. And the other 6 months of the year, you get to receive a surprise, which is their gift of planning and their gift of romance and relationship building. So that is always a fun way to do this. Date nights can be as casual or as elaborate as you want them to be, but the point is to make it happen. And if you don't make it happen, it doesn't happen, because there are always going to be things screaming for our attention. Everything needs attention, and the world is getting really noisy. So having something that is sacred is really important for the foundation of your relationship to stay grounded, because not only do you know it's coming, so when you flip through your calendar, you see that it's coming, so you get this built up anticipation. Your brain is firing excited chemicals and it's sending out happy chemicals every time you see your calendar. But once the activity is over, and you have experienced that day with your partner, you now have these memories that can carry you through. And when you journal about them, you can record how you felt. So if storms come, if the waters get bumpy, you can go back to that memory and say, oh my gosh, that was like last week. That was the greatest. Like, I love that picnic under the tree. It was so beautiful and peaceful, and it was so romantic, and it was so sweet. Yeah. right? You can put yourself physically and, mentally back in that space. Even if you're not physically in that space, your brain can recreate the magic that you felt in that happy experience. So when winter is creeping back, when fall is lurking, you actually can pull yourself right back to summer by replanting yourself in those amazing memories of the time that you had. And you know that the next date night, it will be great again, right? So there's this very powerful experience of time, both experiencing memories of it and anticipating the next one. And that's the power of date night. It really is more powerful than I think we give it credit for. The next one is to keep learning about your partner. So this is one of those things where if you are doing more adventurous things on your date nights, you can learn more about your partner, because you might think, wow, I would have never thought that my partner would have loved goat yoga. And look at this, like they are all over it. They are just, they are making me laugh. They are laughing. They're loving it. It's so fun and unexpected. You would never know that your partner liked that if you didn't have that experience, right? So keep learning about your partner. Keep trying new things, going to new neighborhoods, trying new cuisines, watching different kinds of shows, meeting different kinds of people. If all of your peers are people that you work with, try to find people in a different industry or in a different generation. Sometimes you might be able to find a senior citizen couple, like an elderly couple, and really just be amazed at their life experience and their wonderful lives. Or maybe there's a young millennial couple who's really fresh and hip and different, and their worldview is so different than yours. And you can create friendships with people outside of your own space. You will learn about your partner in these other experiences with these other people, right? So the keep learning is just open in curiosity, and that's such a healthy thing for your relationship. Number 4 is have self-expanding activities. Now this is really self-expanding. So if we think back to our shared garden and our individual garden, the Venn diagram, this is for your individual garden. Right? What do you want to do with your life? What kinds of activities do you love to do? What are things that just get your heart soaring with happiness, right? Make sure you are investing in you. If all of your time is spent between work, your partner, your children, your family, your housework and chores and that sort of thing, you are going to be a sad person. Right? You are going to be an angry person. You might be depleted and frustrated and fed up and irritated, and that will ooze into other parts of you. So I want you to definitely build relationship expanding activities and self-expanding activities. So if that means you get up 15 minutes early in the morning and you do some stretches, or you do some journaling, or you go jogging after, on your lunch hour, or you pick up a paintbrush and some watercolors and you just dabble in arts and crafts, whatever it means for you. Whatever it means for you. But please keep yourself healthy and strong. Keep your wellness at the top of your mind. Remember the 10 categories of wellness. One of those is your emotional, your spiritual, your environmental wellness, like your intellectual wellness. Build on the things that make you happy, right? Because when you are full, you can come to your partner full. You're not going to come to them sad and depleted and wait for them to fill you up, right? Your job is to take care of your garden. So please include self-expanding activities. Now, if there's, if you love paddleboarding and you go out and your partner's like, I'd like to try that, it might become a shared activity, and that's awesome. But it also might not be, and that's okay too. You can have your own things. Your partner can have their own things. Not everything needs to be together. Some things can be separate, and that's okay. But please don't give up the separate things because you think you shouldn't do things for yourself. Absolutely not. It leads to number 5 about creating a shared culture. So if you both love paddleboarding and you both find out that you love doing it, and there is a place and you rent boards, or you pick up some boards on a secondhand store, or you go find one at a sports shop and you start doing the paddleboarding activities together, you're creating a shared culture. Maybe you both love coffee or wine. Maybe you both love French food or barbecuing. Whatever you both love to do, invest in that. If you both love, taking pictures of the night sky and you get all bundled and you go out into the dark and you do astrophotography, okay, first of all, I would love that. But I want you to do it together and know that it is a shared culture that you're building, right? It is a magical thing that you both love, and you can teach each other and inspire each other and encourage each other to do. And that is one of the thickest bridges you can build, is building that shared culture. Creating rituals of connection. This sounds the same, but it's a little bit different because these are the very simple things. How do you get up in the morning and wake your partner up? What do you do when somebody is leaving the house, either to go to work or to run an errand or to pick up the kids or take the cat for their shots? What are your rituals of connection? When someone is cooking, does somebody come and hug them from behind, right? If your partner is working at their desk, do you often just go and quickly massage their shoulders and give them a kiss on their head and ask them if they want a cup of tea? What are the little things you do? Those rituals of connection are paramount in your relationship. It is, yes, you want the big thick bridges, absolutely. But you also need the many, many threads together, right? This is a big tapestry. This is not just one thing, because one thing doesn't bring conflict to your relationship. So one thing can't bring you guys back together, right? A lot of things have to be put in place. How you wake up, how you say goodnight to each other. Do you cuddle in bed, or do you sleep on opposite sides of the bed, or do you sleep in separate bedrooms? Which is totally fine if you have somebody who's a sensitive sleeper or somebody who snores. That isn't the problem. But if you don't hug and kiss and tuck each other in, or do a ritual of connection before you go to your separate sleeping quarters, then that's the issue, not the sleeping apart. It's the rituals of connection that I want you to start building more of and doing them more intentionally. And the last thing is, give yourself a report card. So I know if you asked your partner, to give you a report card on a winter day, an emotionally winter day, they'd list all the things you're doing wrong. We don't need that. You know how you're doing. You know if you are planning good quality time together through date nights and shared, cultural activities. You know if you are creating rituals of connection by finding ways to touch them and squeeze them and hug them and ask them about their day and leave them love notes, or you know what you're doing. If you feel like you're doing a fantastic job and things are going well, good. Keep up the good work. If you feel like you could up your game a little bit, that you're not feeling quite summery, like summer's not quite as bright and happy as it could be, don't point fingers, right? Don't say they need to do more, they need to do different. Start with you. What can you do differently? How can you contribute differently to their life? How can you create added rituals of connection? How can you bring spontaneity or adventure or a feeling of love and acknowledgement or validation to your partner, right? So really, what about you? Always start with you. When you want to talk about how amazing something is, like your partner, then you can talk you. But if it's something where you're like, not so great, start with yourself, right? There's always more we can do. So in this report card scenario, we really evaluate how we've been doing so far and what we can do differently. If we aren't sure, we can absolutely ask our partner, like, hey, how does this feel for you? Or would you like something different? Or do you even appreciate, this in our life? Like, I work really hard to do this. Do you even enjoy that? Or would you like something different? They might say, actually, that doesn't matter to me. I'd rather this. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that. Let's try it. Right? So it's conversation, it's comprehension, it's open and curiosity. And giving yourself a report card is not in any way punishing or any way kind of to put you down. It's just a check-in, right? Just as you do a couples check-in at the beginning, like how are we doing? A self check-in is, how am I doing? Am I feeling like my needs are getting met? Am I feeling like I'm reaching out and being connected to my partner? Am I feeling, love and appreciation? Because maybe I'm not feeling it, but maybe I'm not giving it, right? So let me appreciate a little bit more, see how it happens, see what goes on, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. When we aren't feeling appreciated, we start appreciating more, and then we get appreciation back. And it's like amazing, but you have to start it. So that's what the report card does. It gives you a place to start. Anyways, thank you so much for checking in on Life Systems. There's tons of sheets on this in the workbook, so please take your time and work through this. If you have questions, of course, the 5 Seasons of Connection to Your Love Partner book has more information on all of these sections, so don't feel lost. And if you had any breakthroughs or great ideas, please, by all means, email me. I'd love to hear from you. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Take care for now.